What's up, you guys? Welcome back.
Welcome back to our channel. We're back in Nashville. We've been gone for a few weeks for the holidays and have not done any YouTube videos. We were taking some time off.
Yeah, so welcome to 2024, first video of the year. We're gonna do a little Q&A for you guys. We've been traveling for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Visiting family for about 2 weeks, and we did a few days with Delaney and Clayton in Tahoe. And we are glad to be back. We had so much fun, and there were a lot of really good times on our trip, but we were missing our routine.
Yes.
We're glad to be back on a sleep schedule for ourselves, on a sleep schedule for Smoke, and just a routine in general.
Yeah. So we thought we would start off our new year with a little Q&A, just catch up with you guys, get the status updates, and then we'll get back to the vlogs this week.
By the way, Smoke's sleeping right now. We figured we'd knock out the Q&A while he's asleep so we can actually focus on these questions. Yes. But we do have Booker here. He just got back today.
Yeah.
And we're so glad he's back with us.
Question number 1. How was it being with your family over the holidays? So we actually went to my house for Christmas this year. Hunter and I, our families live in different states, so we switch off every other year. We did Thanksgiving with his family, Christmas with mine, and then we just like swap back and forth.
We've been doing that for the past 9 or 10 years.
Yeah. I was so excited to see my family this year, and we were there for quite a while, like a week and a half. Unfortunately, we had a death in the family this year, which was really, 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 really sad and very challenging, and it kind of like turned our holiday season upside down a little bit. So
it was about a week before we went home.
Yeah, it happened about a week before we went home, and it was really intense. So I don't want to really like talk about it much on the internet just because it's like sort of a private situation.
Yeah,
but
not our matter to share.
No.
But
that was a little bit rough. I think like for anyone that thinks like families are just like peachy over the holidays, like I actually find holidays can be a little bit tough sometimes just because you have like all your family members in one location, so many personalities, kids, stuff going on, charged emotions, everyone's stressed. So it was really intense, but overall I was really happy to like be with them and spend time with them. But yeah, I was just telling Hunter, I think like it's so weird as we get older, life just like gets realer and realer and like more serious. I don't know. We
were talking this the 3rd year in a row where there was like a recent death in the family on Christmas. So we still like obviously have a good time with family, and we try to make it as normal as possible and be there for each other, but there is like a cloud in the air that kind of makes it like a little like tough to really just like jump in and enjoy. Yeah. But nonetheless, like we had a good time with family and got to spend time with friends and stuff in the snow.
Totally.
Yeah, being home with family, it was fun. We always look forward to it on both sides. Like it's always like super exciting to get back to your home, back to like we used to live in Mill Valley, which is close to where her parents live. So like going to the old coffee shops and stuff like that. Just doing some of like the old things.
I know, and it was especially fun seeing Smoke with all of his cousins. And for me personally, getting to like hang out with my nieces and nephews is so much fun. I don't really get to see them very often because me and all my sisters live in different states, different countries. So getting everyone together despite like the circumstances that were sort of sad, it was still like so special to be around the kids
really nice.
and get them all together. They're just so cute.
Yeah. Her parents have like a 3-bedroom house, and there were how many adults? 7 adults?
There were 7 adults and
5 children.
5 kids under 4.
Yeah, so it was like chaotic madhouse, but it was like looking back, you're like there were things where everyone was like so frustrated and stuff, but looking back it was like super fun.
I know. I was like laughing as I was seeing some TikToks about like people with perfect families, and I just am like after the holidays I think everyone thinks like, oh my god, what, my family is not normal, and I think that's a normal way to feel. Like we were definitely fighting and like everyone's on each other's nerves, and there's just so much going on, and just
I think the best thing you can do is like go into those situations and just be like the positive
100%
even kill individual or couple that's there, because it's like it creates a nice balance for like when things go wrong, like you can be there to like help make things right, or be the person in your family that everyone can kind of rely on, be like, okay, that person's like good positive energy, you want to like be more like that or whatever. So that's always our goal.
I think over the years Hunter and I like, and I know a lot of people I find it challenging to spend when they spend a lot of time with family. It's so special, but it can be really like emotional and like triggering just because family is family. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. And we get like a lot of questions about that actually, like how to deal with family, hang out with family. I don't think anybody has an easy experience that's just like peachy, and I think that's just part of life. Yeah. But I think Hunter and I, something we have like gathered over time is just like we love our family so much, and just like having a lot of forgiveness and trying to just be a little like softer with them, because it's really easy to get like frustrated or upset and
annoyed,
just like
whatever.
Yeah, being like positive and learning to like forgive and soften a little bit over time. Okay, so with that being said, a lot of questions around traveling with Smoke. What do we do with his sleep schedule when we're traveling? How do we like go out and about with him? How do we travel with him? All of that stuff. I will definitely say, I think being gone, this is the longest we've ever been gone since having Smoke, like being on the go for 2 weeks with a baby is definitely challenging. It is not easy. You don't have your routine. You don't have your normal stuff. It's just like, it feels like the Olympics a little bit.
It was probably a little easier being in a house than a hotel.
Definitely.
But it's probably easier being in a hotel if you're by yourself in the hotel versus in a house with a bunch of family members.
Yeah, like splitting.
Right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they all have their different things.
There's like pros and cons to both sides.
Yeah.
But what we really try to do is like keep him as close to a schedule as possible. But when we're traveling, we rely on him a little bit more to express what he desires and how he's feeling, rather than telling him like, hey, you need a nap right now.
Yeah.
We kind of follow his lead and cues on that, versus saying like he naps at this time, and this time. It's more of like we kind of know those times he naps, but we let him show us when he's kind of tired.
Totally.
Because of the time zone change and stuff like that.
I would say we're more like intuitive parenting style. We just like kind of go with like what the signs that he's giving, and if he's tired, he's tired. We don't try to like get too strict with it. Now, it definitely like is just going to be a little bit of an adjustment. Like he was obviously on a time change, so he had to adjust the first few nights. His schedule, like he was getting up earlier, like 5:30, and then like going to bed at 5:30. And eventually though, over time, he like kind of adjusted, and Hunter and I were getting up in the night a little bit more than normal, but you know, that's just part of traveling and rolling with it. So there's no perfect way to travel with a baby. I think you just have to know that there are gonna be little challenges, but like it's worth it for the memories.
Yeah, so. We probably slept less the past 2 weeks than we did the first 2 weeks of Smoke being born.
For sure.
Right.
And then he caught a cold from all the cousins, and that was even worse. Like, we are severely underslept.
We caught the cold, and it was just it was
rough.
A fun shit show, to say the least.
Exactly. But that's just part of.
And also, parenting. like we said, we kind of give him like those guidelines of like, here's what we know his structure looks like, but follow his cues. Additionally, like if sometimes we know like, oh, he's supposed to be napping right now, but we want him to go to sleep like early, like let's keep him up during this period and like make sure he's up while we're eating dinner.
Yeah.
There's times like we went to dinner like much later than we normally eat. Let's say like 8:30 p.m. in California. That's actually 10:30 p.m. here.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to keep him up till 10:30 p.m. Central, and that's like 4 hours past. It's like you kind of play the numbers game and just like hopefully like it works out.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it doesn't, but you can only try. So
it's not a perfect formula. You just kind of gotta sack up and know that's gonna be tough, but it's a lot. It's more effort, but you know that's parenting. So I'm just constantly surprised by how much we can do.
Like we're like loving this stage of life. I think y'all know that and can see that, but we can't say enough like how fun it is like traveling with Smoke. At least like once you're at the destination, plane rides and stuff aren't always that fun and exciting for with a toddler, but the moments are so much more special when you're having something like a Christmas with your family, when you have your own
baby is
there. At least to us,
for sure. The plane rides were a little, actually on the way there he was fine, but he like before he goes to sleep, he like rage cries before he goes to sleep. So he was doing that on the airplane. We were like, we were so stressed. I was like, I'm sorry, but it's all good. Everyone was fine, and
it could always been worse. Like it was actually like I was pleasantly surprised how well he did on the way back, knowing how he had been the previous few days and like being sick and stuff. So
no, he's so good. I feel bad for putting him through that. Okay, most used item while traveling with a baby. I have mine, but I want to see what you would say.
Used item. For me, I would probably say two things.
Yeah.
Of importance. One was the activity play center.
We rented that.
We rented one. But secondly, I would say the hatch.
Oh my god, yes. Okay, so I would say the Doona and the hatch.
Oh, the Doona.
So the Doona is a travel stroller that is literally like key, you guys, because it can be gate checked at the airplane, or it can actually go on the airplane. It can fit above, and it's also a car seat. So
yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, just we use that thing to death.
Yeah, I said the hatch though because I felt like he was able to get sleep.
Yes.
Because of the hatch. When we were in a smaller house with like so many people, all the noise and chaos was tuned out because of the sound machine.
Yes, the sound machine was key. I ended up renting that too off of an app called Baby Quip, and with a few other things. But the hatch I really relied on for naps when we were traveling, because, and I think I'm not that obsessed with our sound machine at home because our house is pretty quiet when he's napping, but I literally turned that shit up so high when he would nap, and it helped him nap.
And I actually slept better with it too.
I know, we slept with it. Yeah,
because like a lot of the other babies would be up at like 4 and 5 in the morning, and we were able to sleep through that because of the sound machine.
Yes.
And then I said the activity center. It gave him something additional to do during the day, which is like always nice, like for an entertainment perspective, because we're really trying not to lean on like any screens right now. We don't want him to watch TV, or we don't really show him an iPad or a phone yet. So keeping him entertained while he's awake is like, it's tiring. So the activity center to like throw him in and like let him entertain himself for a little bit is convenient.
Again, so the rental app is key. So we had some of our like regular things.
The rental app, by the way, not sponsored.
No.
The rental app, what's it called?
Baby Quip.
Baby Quip, it's legit. So you just like pick out all the things. Someone brings all the items to your house. We got a crib. We got sound machine. We got the Bajorn. We got the activity center.
Yeah.
What else did we get?
A baby monitor, but we didn't end up using it.
We got your sister a stroller.
Yeah.
Maybe like, did we get a pack and play?
No, just the mini crib.
We got a lot of things, and like it's just like a daily rate and super legit. We've used it twice now.
Yeah.
And would highly recommend.
Yes, it's wonderful.
It's safe so you don't have to travel with all this shit, you know? You just like show up and it comes to your house.
Yeah.
They pick it up before you leave, and it's super convenient.
Yeah. Someone said, how do you manage taking Smoke so many places? Sometimes I'm scared to leave the house. Okay. I know that's like really intimidating to take the baby out of the house a lot. I think what helps
is the fear that they misbehave in public.
It's just like a lot of work, you know, when you're by yourself.
Or is it like the fear of like them getting sick or something?
No, it's like that it's a lot of work.
No.
You know, like when you're alone. I think it's different because Hunter and I are together a lot, so I don't actually do that many outings with Smoke by myself. I think you have to just start with little things and sort of like build up your confidence. Like try maybe one day doing like one outing, going to the coffee shop with your baby, or to Target.
Yeah, if you do it, you can't really have like a ton of expectations. Like I have these 4 things and I'm gonna make all these things happen. It's kind of like, let's see how far I get in this process.
But the thing is, like, I know that feeling, and it's like so much easier to just not leave the house. But if you never try, if you never even test out little things, then you will literally just stay home all the time and you'll never go. And then you're stuck at the house his whole childhood. Like, you don't want to do that either. So I would just try to start doing little things. Maybe start with a walk to the park on the stroller, and then try to go to Target, and then try to do grocery shopping. Like, build up slowly as you feel more comfortable. It's just a sort of a comfortability thing, like learning to ride a bike, learning how to go out
and you just have to know that like it's not gonna be like running errands how they used to be.
Not
like
at all.
It's not gonna be like going to dinner like it used to be. Like it's a new way of life. It's like your new style of life. So like we go to dinners now with him, and
it's just gonna be different.
It's gonna be different, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good.
Totally.
And you just kind of know that going in. You can't expect them to be like perfect at this age.
No.
So someone said, when did you feel like you got the hang of parenting and it became your normal life? I feel like we have the hang of parenting.
Yeah.
And it feels like normal life, but I
don't know if you ever feel like,
yeah,
okay, I'm there.
It's
always changing.
It feels like, obviously, this is our normal life now moving forward. Like, we're very, very well aware of that.
Yeah.
But it every time, like, there's something new come up, you're like, oh, shit, like, this is my responsibility. You're like, you know.
Yeah. I think Hunter and I are kind of sick in the head where we, like, kind of like the challenges that it, like, probes. Chaos. It keeps it, like, interesting.
We like busyness.
We like busyness, and we like challenges. So I will not say it is not like for the faint of heart. Like, parenting is so hard to describe like why it's hard. It's just like almost like physically, emotionally taxing, but it's not outside of like your capacity. Like, you're literally born for this, so it feels very natural, but it's just like it's intense, right?
And one day you might feel like, oh, I got the hang of it, and the next day you're like, what is happening, you know?
Totally.
And then the next day you're like back to feeling great about it. So there's like ups and downs, and you feel different each day.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think we've been feeling pretty good for the past few months.
Definitely. And I think like we're definitely always, you know, trying to keep up and like be nimble and figure out the next thing. But I think like the thing that helps you like embrace that sort of like challenge the most is something that I love, is that it really like keeps you truly in the moment. You cannot, like, when you become a parent, there's no time to like overthink, stress about like little things that don't matter. You're literally just like wake up each day and you're trying to survive and take care of that human. And I really love that keeps us like super present, and you can't do much like dilly-dallying into the future or the past, or there's just no time for it. Like the baby's the priority.
And like I think our mindset, and I think most parents' mindset is like, if you're not a parent yet and you are a soon to be parent, you'll know this, and if you are a parent, you'll probably recognize this as well. But like, your love for your child outweighs any frustrations or responsibilities that you have to do for them.
Yeah.
At least that's our mindset.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure everyone's different, but I do feel like that's a common theme amongst parents, is like, I love my child so much, so that's what I think about, not how difficult these things are.
Totally.
It just like
the joy is like so incredible. It'll outweigh anything. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's how we're feeling about it.
That's how we're feeling about it.
How many kids do you want after having your first? I think we might have answered this last time. At the end of Vlogmas, but I would say we've always wanted like between 2 and 4, and I think now we've removed that 4 from a possibility. I think it's now between 2 and 3
for sure. We're gonna start with 2 and see how that goes, and then see if we're up for a third. It's all, as you guys know, you gotta like kind of feel it out. You can't just say this is the plan.
And another person asked how long we'll wait for our second. Our goal and plan is to wait until Smoke's about 2, but we're also like not trying to plan it so much. Like, we're trying to feel it out and see how things go. We might wait 1.5 years. We might wait 3 years. So right now the goal is like, let him to get to 2, and then we'll start trying. But we may feel different here in a couple months.
A lot of you guys, by the way, asked about Smoke's sleep schedule, like specifics. And I'll just go over really quickly. He just went down actually to 2 naps per day, and that happened while we were traveling. So I didn't plan it. It naturally just like he tapered off by like, his 1 nap was really short. It was like an hour in the morning, and he kind of just like powered through, and then he naturally started doing like 2 naps per day. So that's where we're at. And then he goes to sleep at like between 6:30 and 8, and then wakes up around between 6:30 or 8. And
usually 6:30 to 6:35 is his wake window. It's like pretty spot on every morning.
Yeah.
It's rare he sleeps past 7.
I know, like last night he woke up at 3 a.m. and he was crying, so I went in and got him. Sometimes he's usually sleeping all the way through. It just depends. Like, you know, it's like a crapshoot every night. You never know what you're gonna get, but he's sleeping in his nursery. Sometimes if he's having a hard time, if he's sick, we'll pull him in the bed, sleep with us. So
yeah, he slept with us in our bed more than normal on this past trip.
Yeah.
To visit her family and with Delaney and Clayton, because the crib we were using at her parents' house, we were all in the same room, and normally we're not in the same room with him.
Yeah, so we could hear everything.
But it was super loud every time he would move, so we were having problems sleeping, and so he slept harder with us. We slept harder with him, so if we woke up one time, we'd be like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
So almost every night we'd bring him into our bed at like 3 or 4 in the morning. Yeah. And now look at the habit we started.
I know.
Because he cried at 3 this morning.
Well, I'm not worried though. It'll taper back off, and he'll be fine. We gotta get back into his like comfortability and being in his house and everything. So
yeah.
It'll be
but
okay.
There's a few things that like there's a few things that took place on this trip that were kind of like first for Smoke, or like new habits, and I think we're both kind of feeling like, okay, are these actually new things that are going to be moving forward, or are these only happening because of the trip we were on?
I know, or if he was sick.
Like, he was like kind of fussy, or like, like certain things like fussy while he would eat, and we're like, is this a new thing, or is this like temporary? Is it because he's sick? Is it because we're traveling? Is it because he's sleepy?
I think just, again, overall, like traveling with the baby, it's just a lot. I think it's a lot for you, it's a lot for them, and you just have to like, I don't know, I'm not worried. I think things just kind of even out when you're back home and there's calmer, and I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
We'll freak out if things start to happen later.
Speaking of him being sick, he got a cold. All of our nieces and nephews had a cold when we showed up, and so we were like, all right, Smoke's gonna get this for sure. He got it, passed it to us, and one thing we did not have on this trip, we were so frustrated we forgot. It's the first time we forgot our seed.
Oh my god.
So, let's take a moment.
Literally.
And
I needed this so badly. Like, I was so mad that we forgot this. we almost ordered some and had it
No,
shipped.
I did order some. I ordered some to be delivered to your parents' house.
I know.
But it was a delay, and then by the time we left, it showed up afterward.
And I, like, especially traveling, like, the things that you eat and, like, your gut health and all health is just overall, like, not on point. I needed this so badly.
So bad.
I was so
I thought
sad.
about it every day. Just like, when Smoke got sick, I was like, I don't want to get sick. I want to make sure I have, like, good health going. I was taking all my vitamins and stuff, and, like, I just forgot seed.
Totally. So if you guys are regular subscribers, you already know the drill. This is our prebiotic and probiotic. It's actually combined into one capsule. And we take this daily. It's the Seed DS-01 Daily Symbiotic. Anybody can take this, and they actually just came out with one for adolescents. I think you can start it. The age range is on the website, but I think it's like age 7 to 18 or something. So they now have one for kids and then one's for adults.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. It just helps with gut health, overall immunity, your skin health, regularity, bloating, all that good stuff.
When you travel, regularity is not regular, so
Yeah.
seed always helps with that for us when we travel, like just, you know, a weekender or traveling across the country for multiple weeks. But also, I tell myself, like, oh, I wouldn't have gotten sick if I was taking seed, but like, who knows? But that's how much we love seed and kind of feel like we rely on it, like, for our overall general health of our body and our immunity.
Yeah, and I think if you're gonna take, like, incorporate one supplement into your health routine overall, I would say a prebiotic and probiotic would be the one. As I know there's so much stuff out there on the market, you're like, what the hell am I supposed to be taking? This is like a guaranteed for everybody, all ages, everyone needs this, like, very basic thing. And it's funny too, because now the more and more you go to the doctor nowadays, for anything, it can be like autoimmune stuff, for skin health, everything, they always like ask us if we're on a probiotic. So I think it's just becoming something like that, a staple for everybody in their health plan.
We always talk about, like, taking this, like, oh, it's flu season or it's like sick season coming up, like, make sure your health is good by taking it. Also, like, post sick season, when, like, you've had a cold or something like that, or a flu or pneumonia or bronchitis or whatever it might be, and a doctor's prescribing an antibiotic, that really messes with your gut biome. And so it's good to take one of these post taking an antibiotic to get your gut biome back to normal, because it's promoting really good bacteria and pushing good bacteria into your system.
Honestly, just year round, really, but especially during the cold months, I feel like it's key.
I just mean, like, obviously year round, but I just mean, like, a lot of times you think about it like, oh, make sure you're taking this so you don't get sick, and it's like, also take it if you did get sick, because it can help recover and rejuvenate your body.
Yes.
And give it what it needs to fight off bad bacteria.
Totally. It's just like an all-purpose amazingness. So we always have a code with them every month. We'll have it in the description box down below for you guys to get a discount off of your first order. And
we love seed.
Perfect time of year to start it. Someone asked about how to keep a positive mindset in life in general. Okay, it's funny because I was actually just talking to Hunter about this, because I felt like there've just been like a ton of shifts this year. Obviously had a tough holiday season, as I mentioned earlier, with our family death and everything, and just like transitioning into parenthood and rebalancing and structuring life and everything. And getting older, I just feel like things get so serious and they just get
high pressure,
and kind of harder and harder as life goes on. And I was just telling him the other day, I'm like, you kind of just have to be delusionally like positive and try to bring positivity into any situation, because if you don't, like, you can really, and I find myself victim to this, like struggling to just kind of fall in the trap of like the negativity or the like sadness of things, because they can really get you down, and you have to like find the light in everything. I think that's really like the only way to survive. I'm starting to realize.
We talked about this in Vlogmas, like, if you're a negative person and have negative energy, people don't want to be around that, first off. Secondly, if you fall into that trap like we're talking about, of just like, even if you're not like a shit talker or like a really negative person or mean or whatever that might be, but looking at like, oh, this, you know, this holiday sucked because of this, this, and this, or whatever, just like bringing in that negative energy, that can get the best of you and like make you feel like things aren't fun, make you feel like
life sucks.
Make you feel like mad at your family, mad at your friends, whatever.
Resentful, angry.
Yeah, and just like an overall like the negativity, like just saying negative things, it introduces negative energy into your life.
Yeah.
And it can get the best of you.
Yes.
And so, like she said, like being very intentional about being positive and like removing all the negative energy from your life, from the people around you. Like if there's people in your life that are like super negative, remove them.
Yeah.
Or like distance yourself.
I think too, like, I mean, it takes a little bit of like self-awareness, but I think, you know, that's easier said than done. Like Hunter and I both, like, we're consciously always like, hey, we don't like that behavior that we're doing, or we don't like talking about that type of stuff or saying these types of things because they don't feel good. Like that just feels negative, and we're like always trying to like improve. So I think everyone falls victim to that, but trying to like notice it and be like, that doesn't make me feel good, I don't want to do that anymore. And what's the point? Like what is the point of being negative? Because it's just like wasted time and energy, and then you're like back to square one. It didn't get you anything further or help you at all. So
yeah, it's like just look for the positive things in every situation, and regardless of outcomes, regardless of situations, like be the one to be positive and kind of lead in that stance.
Or just try.
Yeah, just try.
Yeah.
Sack it the fuck up.
Yeah.
And be positive.
Starch
you
up.
know, starch up.
For sure.
Put on that deodorant and be positive. And it can go a long way just by like literally smiling and making the best out of every situation.
Sure.
And I think we try pretty hard to do that.
I know. And there's obviously always gonna be those times where you like are just like, bro, okay, like I gotta like vent or something. And like having someone that's safe to like, you know, do that with, but trying not to use that as like a normal behavior. But sometimes you gotta break. Like I get it.
It creates a stability though that's like healthy for yourself, and it creates a stability that's healthy for the people around you, friends and family, your partner, that they can rely on. Then you can rely on them too when things are down, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway.
Okay, somebody said, how long are we planning to stay in this townhouse, and then also any updates on the cabin or the farm?
Yeah, do you want to answer both at the same time for the most part?
So this is sort of like an all-encompassing question because they're all connected together. So right now our plan is we are starting renovations on the cabin probably in the next, we don't have like an exact date, but probably in the next 2 to 3 months. We're on a wait list with our builder, and we're just literally
maybe 3 to 4. So the plan is March time frame, hopefully, but we'll see. Yes. We still have like certain things we need to get approved on, like permitting process. They're starting that now, so it's just kind of whenever like all that stuff finishes up and wraps up.
We've done all the architectural plans, but Hunter and I have to now work on like the design. We're not hiring an interior designer, so we're doing all the design ourselves, which we're kind of terrified for, but it's gonna be
fun. We customize the exterior too, like, but just what we've done so far is like only the exterior. Like we've only figured out like the architectural plans, the exterior, the interior layout.
Yes.
But now it's a matter of like going through the interior materials.
Tiles, what everything's gonna look like.
Yeah.
So that's that. That project will probably take about a year.
And that's the fun part. We're actually looking forward to like diving in, and that's the home renovation part for us.
For sure.
You know?
That is gonna be fun. We're just intimidated because it's our first time ever doing it. And then after that project is done, we will sort of see how it goes, and
we'll see how the market is too. Like, will we want to rent it? Will we want to sell it? Will we want to move into it?
Yeah, we don't know. We're keeping that open. And then once that is sort of, that chapter is closed out, then we will start working on plans for the farmhouse, which I think we probably realistically think that's another like 3 years away. So I think we'll be in this townhouse a minimum of another 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years. Yeah. Like let's ideally, like best case scenario in terms of timing, let's say we finish the cabin and we sell it this time next year.
Yeah.
I would say by the time that project's wrapping up, we're working on the plans for the farm.
Yeah.
And can start building like as soon as the cabin sells.
That's what I think.
And that would probably take 1.5 years to 2 years.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be a big
2 to 3.
So a big project, you know.
I basically just said the same thing Julia said. So.
Yeah.
2 to 3.
Okay.
Will you guys be traveling much this year? We don't have a ton of plans right now.
Actually.
We would like to do at least like one international trip this year, but We have our eyes on a few things, but haven't completely picked that out yet. Where or when we would do something
more
like that.
Domestic things. We have like a couple of weddings that we're gonna go to. We want to go to the beach again, but I think like while Smokey is really little, we'll probably dial back a lot of our long distance travel. He is definitely he's like 7 months now, and I think like starting like 8 months to like 2 is gonna be tough because they're super active, walking around, so wiggly. I think like if we can just hold off on like long distance travel during that like year and a half, I think that's probably smart. Just I mean, I'm just saying like Europe and stuff where
I want to do a couple Europe trips with him.
I know, I'm just saying just waiting till he's like maybe 4 and then he's like just a little bit chiller. Okay, well, that's just what I think would be easiest, but we'll see.
It would obviously be easiest. It would also be easiest, like, to just,
Okay, yeah, but...
There's a lot of things that are easier. I don't choose the easy route.
Okay, whatever. You're annoying.
What do you mean?
Because you're just like...
I mean, I'm not lazy.
Neither am I, bitch.
Kidding.
Oh my god.
God.
It's just different, it is.
No, I know. But it's the challenge is kind of fun for me. Like it'd be fun to go on a European trip with him because you can go and stay for like a couple weeks at a time. The time change would be really hard for his sleep schedule, and the flight would be difficult.
And just like entertaining them, yeah. Well, as long as he's on like a 1 nap a day schedule, once he gets there, that might be easier. I will say it's a little bit tough being out and about when they're on multiple naps, because if they don't get the solid nap, which they usually don't in like a car seat or out and about, then they get overtired and cranky, and it's tough. So that's what I mean. I think you just make your life a little easier by like altering things.
I wonder if it's easier when he starts walking or before he starts walking to do something like that.
Well, I think before.
Right. But when he's walking, then you can do like a little bit more stuff with them.
Yeah, but then they're like running or you're chasing them.
Yeah, you can go to parks and stuff.
Yeah, but okay, so you're going to travel all the way to freaking Italy to go to a park?
Go to a little playground? An Italian playground?
I mean, as long as you're fine with that, then it's just you have to alter your expectations of what you're going to do.
What's our expectations besides we travel and we go to dinners? We go to the beach and go to dinners. You're just doing that somewhere further away than like just going to the beach in Florida and going to the beach and going to dinners.
I know, it's just different.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, a lot of people ask how solids are going with Smoke too. Solids they're kind of going. I don't know, I started purees and he's not like obsessed with them. I don't know if we just haven't found the ones that he likes, but we've been giving him a lot of little things. He likes yogurt.
We're trying to introduce like obviously like different textures, but more than anything like new flavors.
He kind of just like when we put things in his mouth, he goes like, he like frowns and he kind of like, he'll like take bites, but he's sort of confused.
I've been giving him a lot of like the beef jerky sticks or like little pieces like that he likes to chew on, and it's nice because I feel comfortable with it, knowing that he's not gonna like
choke,
bite something and like swallow it right now. He's just like gnawing on them. It's like flavor and probably feels good on his teeth while he's teething. I had a dream last night a tooth came in, by the way.
Really?
Yeah,
of his?
I just remembered that.
That was so cute. I love that.
But yeah, introducing like flavors. He likes those little popsicle things that we freeze.
He loves those frozen teethers. Yeah, I would say his favorite thing is like yogurt. That seems to be the one that's like the easiest right now, and he like doesn't frown or make weird faces when he eats it.
And we're not nervous to give it to him right now.
Totally. Like, yeah. Sometimes when we give him like some salt things and we hear him coughing, we're like,
well, it's not even the cough. It's just like
a gag.
We were trying to give him some food yesterday at the airport. I'm like, now's not the time to introduce like some new food to him at the airport, because I'm not trying to, 1, miss a flight because of a choking kid, and 2, I'm not trying to have a choking kid.
I know.
So
it's just like you never know.
It's nice to do it like in the safety of your own home.
It is.
And just like slowly work to like more difficult foods.
Definitely.
Anyway, how long were you married before Mr. Smoke?
8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
Or just about 8, almost 8.
Yeah. Do you think that like we could have started kids earlier? How like that it would have gone well?
Yeah.
I think looking back, like I think we started the perfect time, and I'm glad we chose when we were ready. But I think we could have started at like 30.
We could have started at any time.
Well, yeah, we really could have.
Like we could have started when we first got married. We were 24 when we got married, and we could have started then. But like our life wasn't prepared for that yet.
I know, and I'm also glad that we waited, because I think that I never wanted to be in a situation where I felt like I didn't get to do everything that we wanted to do before having kids, and I never wanted to put that on the kid, like, because I had you, like, I didn't get to, like, what would have my life have been. So
yeah, when people ask, like, do you think you could have had kids earlier, it's like, yeah, we could have, but, like, our timing feels really perfect for us because we felt like we were able to do everything we wanted to.
Definitely.
And it felt like we were the most prepared financially, mentally, emotionally, and the desire was there. We always talk about that. Like, people say you'll never be ready to have kids, and you know, you might not be ready for the challenges it comes with or whatever that might be, but you can be ready in those different aspects, financially, mentally, emotionally, and more than anything, I think you should wait to have kids.
So you really want it.
To when you have that desire, like, I want a kid now.
Yeah.
Like, I really want a kid. And that's what we did, and it felt the most right.
Totally.
So, there's no pressure. Don't feel pressure from your family. Don't feel pressure from your friends or people around you who are having kids. Like, have kids when you want them. And when you and your partner are both on the same page.
Totally.
One person wants a kid, one person doesn't. Don't force the kid because one person's not ready.
I don't think that would be good, because then it'll cause, like, tension between you guys, or, like, resentment. You just, like, have to be both ready.
Yeah, if we can give any advice about anything, that would probably be the advice we would give, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, that's some important feelings we have about a subject is wait till you have the desire to have children.
Totally.
To have children.
I agree. Who will be the stricter parent? Who do you guys think?
For sure, that one.
Whatever. I'm such a pushover.
I'm a pushover.
No, you're not.
When it comes to babies, I will keep them most in line, probably.
Right. I think that's strictness.
I don't know.
That's just dads in general, though. You know,
like, I don't know.
Usually like
I feel like I'm just, like, providing, like, guidelines. Like, I'm the most strict with Booker, but I also don't want him to get hit by a car. I know you don't want to get hit by a car either, but, like,
totally.
I'm the one providing guidelines and teaching him to be close.
Yeah.
When you would let him, like, you know, get kidnapped. Dognapped.
No, I wouldn't.
Just, like, you know, if he didn't have rules and, like, guidance and learn how, like...
I think also maybe because it's a little boy, like, I'm gonna be, like, a sucker for him. Like, I just, you know...
Like a pushover?
A little bit.
You are a pushover, though.
You think?
You just said you were.
I'm such a pushover. Do you actually think that?
With, like, certain things.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying not to be.
Okay. Try not to be.
I know, but we'll just have to see till we get there, but
yeah,
I don't know, I could come out with a bang and be like, get in line.
I think you will. I think you'll want that.
Yeah.
Like, you'll want the not like be like overpowering. I think sometimes you hear
firm.
You hear strict and you think like, oh, that's the mean parent. It's like, no, strict could be the ones that's providing the guidelines to help them live a life of that's safe and successful, I guess.
I'm like a little bit like, woo, and Hunter is more like, not type A, but a little bit more like that. So I think you like more order, and I am like fine with a little bit more chaos.
Yeah,
so
I like
for
more
those
order.
reasons.
For those reasons, I'm out.
I'm out. You know what I mean? Okay.
I do like order. I like law and order. But I'm also someone that my whole life went against law and order. More than you. You were like a rule follower, and I wasn't. So that's interesting.
I know. I think because I was a rule follower, I'm like, when it comes to myself or my life, I'm like, I actually don't really care. Like, I think it's sort of fun to, like, not have the rules because, you know, I was like that. I'm trying to, like, not be so rule followy. Like, I actually hate that.
But
I think that's, like,
I'm still not a rule follower. So how am I going to expect my kids to follow my rules?
Right. Because like, you can't, like, put your own agenda, like, on your kids. You have to just make sure.
Right. Oh, here's a good one. What? Do you think you'll stay in Nashville long term and raise Smoke and other babies there in Nashville?
That's a good one to end on.
We were talking about this like a lot on our trip.
Yeah.
It came up a lot, like, because we were hanging out with family and people would ask, or friends would ask, like, how we're feeling about, you know, the projects we're working on, or where we're going to be living, or if we think it's a forever place. Like, we ask those same questions to all of our friends and family and ourselves. So, what have been feeling lately is, yes, we see ourselves raising Smoke and our kids here.
For now.
For now.
Yes.
We are kind of trying to commit to, like, being here for 5 years.
5 to 10.
Seeing the farm through, and seeing how we like that lifestyle.
Yes.
We may hate it. Like, we think we're going to like it more than any lifestyle we've had so far of, like, getting out to a property and building our dream home and having some animals. If we get that far, we think we're going to like that more than anything we've done so far.
Definitely. But it's definitely like a dream of ours, and since we've met has been like the end goal for us is like living on a farm with our babies. That's what we want.
But being realistic about it, you don't know until you do it.
Totally. And Hunter and I are not, like, I know a lot of people are planners, they like to plan out their life. Like, Hunter and I are not like that at all. We literally are just like very sort of in the moment, sporadic, like intuitive people based on what feels good at the time. We do not plan anything, and it to our demise a little bit. Like, sometimes we need a little bit more planning around here, but that's just not how we
plan.
A little,
but we're risky and loose with the planning. Like, it's just kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
But it is like more decisions are made based on how we feel, and we follow what
our heart,
we feel passionate about, or what intuitively feels right for us at the time.
Yeah.
And then you deal with
you just figure it out.
You just figure it out.
Everything's figure out of what we say. So, we are certainly open to all the possibilities. If that were to be moving closer to family one day in the future, or moving to another country, or
trying that out for a stint.
Pulled to another city. We have no expectations for what the future will bring.
But we always want things to make sense. Like, we felt our move to Nashville made sense. Nothing really makes sense right now from a move. No, I'm saying like, other than Nashville,
to like leave here.
We want to stay. Like, and this is the first time we've been like, this feels right. Like, nothing else seems better than what we're doing right now.
I know. And I think that's all you kind of can do in life. Realizing like you just have to like follow the breadcrumbs, like what feels right now and what feels good, and then you just kind of keep going and reassess every now and again.
But a good example of that is like, let's say our cabin project is supposed to start on March 15th, 2024. We are the type of people that like March 14th, 2024, we might be like, you want to sell this place? Like, let's go somewhere else. Like,
we don't want
we're down for anything.
Yeah, if it like in your gut, you're like, this isn't right.
Yeah. Or financially, if it doesn't make sense. Like, if it's not gonna make sense financially, and we're gonna be in the hole or whatever. Like, that's one of the reasons like this project has taken so long, is we've been working on the budget for over a year. To get the renovation down to a certain price that makes sense from a profitability standpoint, from what we have financially at the moment for like a budget standpoint. And so we've been working through that for the past year. And I say all that because we want to do things that make sense. We don't want to be like dumb with our decisions, dumb with our finances. But we're also open to pursuing things that make us more happy than option A or option B. Like, we can...
Things ebb and flow. Nothing's set in stone.
If we wanted to sell all of our Nashville property and go buy a house in upstate New York because we really wanted to, we would do it. Like, there's nothing really holding us back. No. But right now, at the moment, we feel right here.
Yeah.
So
we're happy.
Our goal is to make it through not only the cabin project, but make it through the farm project, get down there, and then reevaluate.
Yeah, exactly.
So, 3 years from now, you might have more answers.
And all of that to be documented, obviously. So you guys will be along for the journey.
Yeah.
But, anyways.
Speaking of, before we sign off,
yes,
I have a question for y'all that I would love to see answers in the comment section. We are currently talking through the cabin project and how we are going to deliver that to you guys. There's many different options we are considering. There's like 3 primary options we're considering. But want y'all's opinion as well, since you will be the one consuming the content. So would love to know how you prefer for us to deliver that content to you. Do you want a series? Do you want it to just be like updates throughout vlogs?
Yeah.
Do you want it to be like a 10 episode Netflix drop after the whole project's done and we don't show you anything until then? Like, what would y'all appreciate the most?
Totally.
So
we would love to hear your feedback, because you guys will be along for the
and
whole
we're down
trip,
for any of those things. Like, it's not like we're like, what's going to make us the most money or anything like that. It's just like
whatever will
it's
be the
just
vibe.
Content delivery for us at this point with the cabin.
Yes.
We want to share that project, and we just want to know how y'all prefer to see it. So anyways,
please let us know.
We love you guys. Happy 2024.
Yeah.
It's the year of being genuine, wholesome, be yourself, be nice, be positive. Love everyone. Love yourself.
Authentic.
Yes, just let it out. Let that authentic you out. If you're a content creator, try and challenge yourself to be more authentic in your content. If you are in any other career, try to be as authentic as possible in that career and be a light for the people around you. That's the goal.
Love you guys. Bye.